BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle and the Mighty Trigon make their Jacksonville, Florida debut on Friday, June 14th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center for BYB 27, Brawl in Duval. BYB Featherweight World Champion Harold Lightning McQueen begins his quest for more gold when he faces off against the untamable one, Jon Barnard, in a lightweight title eliminator fight. Plus, it's a rematch, a grudge match, a year and a half in the making, when Red Sonia Dryland looks to avenge her London loss over 600 days ago to the Red Queen, Jamie Driver. Don't miss all the action. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
Welcome to the Original Fighter's Voice. I'm your host, Don Mcguire. As you see, the untamable one, Mr. Jon Barnard. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, better than I deserve, for sure.
Are we all doing better than we deserve? You know, most people think that life should just be this correlated gift to them, and I found out the last 3 days that that's not really so. They canceled my surgery. They canceled my homeowner's policy. And life has just been crap. But you know what? This is where the difference in people get made. You either pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you persevere, or you cry about it, man. I got me a new homeowner's. Tomorrow I go get my blood and my urine for my surgery. We're going to fight that, and you know, we're just going to take it as it is. But you know, eventually I'll be fixed somewhere down the road. It's only been 3.5 years, but I had you guys scheduled this week, and most people would have just took the week off. And once I found out they canceled it, I said, let's get them right back on and tell their story. So you look at the opportunity that you get with Harold McQueen. You know, it's a tremendous situation because it's a title eliminator, and you've already done a tremendous job in BYB to begin with. You know, when you look at this fight, you know, and I'm not afraid to say it, you know, I like Harold McQueen, but I think his head has gotten a little big lately. You're his opponent, you know, when you walk into these fights, do you take that type of how would you say, atmosphere and look at that fighter and see the flaws in their character and their nature moving into the Trigon?
This particular fight is gonna bring a different John. You're actually gonna see the untamable one this time around. Yeah, I feel like this person has a big head, you know. He came to our gym once, you know, and we opened our gym up. We gave him the Southern hospitality, or aka the Aloha Spirit, and he took advantage of that. Came there to just kind of scope us out in regards to his competition. And I feel like he felt off of a sparring session that we had that he had the better of me. Whereas not knowing that I've, you know, made him quit after 2 rounds, and then for him to kind of get this persona where he feels like he can disrespect fighters is ridiculous. It's appalling to me, and I definitely cannot wait to put one more down for the humble fighters as like myself, you know. So this is going to be a humbling night for him for sure.
Yeah, you know, and that's one thing. I just had Mike and Greg on the show, and this is what we love because Mel Valenzuela does such a tremendous job. If you go look at the betting odds, they're 50-50. You know, there might be one barely over, but I think this is a fight. It's a sleeper fight. You know, when they talk about last December 2nd in Colorado, you know, you had Gigliotti and Tommy Turner, and they said Tommy Turner was going to be the sleeper fight. It may turn out to be fight of the night. I have that feeling about this with you and McQueen. What are your thoughts moving forward, brother?
You know, I think he is one of the better individuals within this organization for sure, hands down. And like you said, Mel has been doing a great, tremendous job at trying to find me opponents, and he's been struggling. You know, especially after my last performance, a lot of fighters are not willing to step in the ring with someone with my composure, my technical capabilities. That you know, I'm a MMA fighter, so I've been taking tough fights. I've done kickboxing with MMA gloves. I've done it all, and so transitioning into this bare knuckle scene wasn't as hard as most people think. And I know a lot of individuals have been looking down on me based off of the dad bod I've been bringing forth, and the good thing about that is, people sleep on me, and I think this time I'm probably gonna have to give the fans not a body shot finish. I think I need to give them a sleeper this one. So I'm definitely feeling good for this fight because finally I'm able to fight at my weight. Male has been having a difficult time finding me fights at 135. So now we got somebody that is the champion. So it's kind of hard for the champion to say no to a contender. You know what I mean? So this is a great fight. He did say he's wanted to come to 35 and try to take over that. And my boy, that ain't happening today. It ain't happening June 14th. And, just to put the icing on the cake, once I'm done this fight and get the 135-pound title, I'm gonna go to 125 and take his title as well.
Ooh, that's a broad statement. I like that. See, because I've worked with every fighter in this industry, every promotion from boxing to Pride, Glory, WEC, and BYB. I mean, I worked for BKFC originally from BKFC 1 before it was even put on, and then I didn't dig that company. And about 3.5 years ago, me and Mike came in correlation. I've known Dada and Kimbo Slice from back in the backyard days. And when I came to BYB, it was just a marriage made in heaven. Now, bro, you're a kickboxer, and to see a kickboxer just jump into bare knuckle, what was the ideology behind that?
So for me, I wanted to get back into combat sports in general. I did hurt my knee a few years back, well, 10 plus years back. And my knee has always given me problems when it came to the MMA side of things, and I'm well rounded. I'm a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been, multiple kickboxing matches. I'm able to take a shot. I'm able to roll with punches. I can you do it all. So I'm a full package fighter with an injury that's preventing me from, taking my MMA career to the next level. I was signed under big managements that had clear directions into the UFC. I would have easily got into the UFC if there was no injuries. I was paid I was supposed to have been paid sparring partners for what's his name? UFC champions, former UFC champions. I trained with champions, and I've stamped myself in the game of MMA, but due to injury, that really just put me on the shadow realm. But I have an accolade of great things that I've accomplished in the MMA scene, and so for me to step into this realm, it wasn't that big of a deal because I've seen big faces. I've went against big names, whether it's sparring or fighting. I always fought the best of the best, and I've always been the underdog, and I've always showed up. And not once have I ever had a fight in which it was something that fans would sleep on. So and then on accompany that with the Hawaiian spirit. We're warriors, by heart. In fact, Hawaii has a plethora of great street fighters as well as boxers. And these people don't realize, but if you, like I tell people before, you go on YouTube, you search up Waianae, Hawaii, just Hawaii fights in general, you will be surprised on the skill level that our local fighters in Hawaii have. It's unbelievable. So I've been street fighting. I had a few street fights, my day, and so I just knew that it wasn't going to be a big deal because when we street fought on the, out on the streets, it was technical. We really cared about how we looked when we fought on the street. We wanted to look good because back in my day when I was growing up, fighting was praised, over gun violence and all that kind of stuff. And so if you was a fighter that was talented and could beat people in the streets, then your popularity level rose. And so in fact, one of my brother, the uglier one of us two, he became very popular, like very, very popular, meaning like he could get the top of the top girls in school because he could fight. He was beating up everybody in the school. I'm not, and when I say that, don't take this as a bully. No, there are individuals that can fight and they actually meet up in a designated area and we actually, fight. And then once they're done, they shake hands. And that's how it was. And there's a movie around that same concept that is like the root of Hawaii. And so I've been around the game for a long time. I've trained with tons of professionals. And it's just in my blood, man. It's something that we breathe, we sleep, we drink, warrior, just spirit, and so it was easy. It was very easy transition.
Yeah, it really was because I mean, Joe Schilling, many from I'm a Muay Thai kickboxing freak, bro. I've been in the sport, boxing and Muay Thai, and I've been in my blood for 40 years. I got into MMA because boxing was every other month, if then, and I had to feed the family, so I came over to MMA. And I don't get me wrong, I've made a lot of great friends. I love a lot of the opportunities that I had in MMA, but people want to say, "Where's your heart?" Well, the heart just showed when I got inducted into the National Boxing Hall of Fame with Evander Holyfield, and that was probably one of the greatest pivotal moments in my life. But see, I want to ask you a question because I'm gonna get to your questions and your comments here in a second. But bro, you've beaten UFC fighters in kickboxing matches. That's what trips my mind. I mean, so if people say you don't have the talent, they need to go do a little research. But what I did find is you're undefeated in the Trigon.
Yes, sir.
And that's a very bold statement because a lot of people can't make that statement.
Hmm.
What's it like for you? Because you fought you fought in the octagon, you fought in rings. Now you come to the Trigon, and you're a skilled fighter. You're probably one of the most skilled fighters on the roster. If you look at the genres and the relevance. But how was it for you to step into the Trigon? Because it is the smallest combat surface in the industry. How was it for you? Because kickboxers are distance fighters. Muay Thai fighters are distance fighters. How hard was it for you to correlate that change, or was there no difference at all? Was it just
No difference, honestly. If you look at my previous kickboxing matches, you'll notice that I'm an inside pocket kickboxing
yeah?
fighter. So I'm in the pocket. I'm in their face the whole fight, bell to bell. And I found a way of incorporating kicks while staying in the pocket. And I found that most kickboxers don't do well under pressure, especially when you're in their face too hard. And so, some of my favorite kickboxers, such as Mike Zambides, he's one of the individuals that paved the direction on how I should fight. Mike Zambides, Albert Cross, Andy Sauer, the way that they were able to connect these combinations and stay on the inside and on the outside and just be able to shift between these types of ranges was something that I picked up very early on. And I found great success utilizing these techniques that I found that I mirrored from these great Muay Thai and kickboxing fighters back in my day, and I just knew, going into this realm, that the competition, not to blow smoke on anyone, but the competition right now is still stuck in the realm of brawling. Everyone is brawling still. I can brawl. Don't get me wrong. I can brawl. I can stay in that pocket and sit with you and trade with you. And you can ask some of the top bare knuckle boxers in the game. They will tell you and they will vouch that your boy can brawl. But I wanted to bring a different scene of things. I wanted to bring in the inside pocket fighting as well as a very technical aspect of boxing to the realm, So that was something that I was trying to do, and just to consider that, just to make mention is Juan Manuel Marquez is my favorite boxer of all times. And the way that he's able to stay in the pocket, stay in people's face with pristine technical abilities is something that I want to try my best to. I want to be that Juan Manuel Marquez of bare knuckle boxing, and that's what I'm trying to do. And so this fight will definitely help me to solidify that because this guy is a boxer. He's been boxing his whole life. I just started boxing 3 years ago, 2, 3 years ago. And so for me to be able to come in here and outbox this guy or keep this guy on his back foot the entire time, because that's what's gonna do. He's gonna drown or he's gonna give up, or I'm knocking this guy out, because this is the first time that I've had a fight in which I'm disliking the individual. Most fighters, I'm a easygoing person, I'm a very respectable person and very approachable person, should I say. And so the way that this individual has been treating me, and just talking about me, and he got his goons, his trolls that's online going after me and my fans is unacceptable. And somebody got to pay for the way that he's behaving, and so we'll let the ring of the bell do the talking, So
I agree with you, but there has already been one comment on here that kind of kind of pissed me off. But and they didn't do it to piss me off, but they just said, let me see if I can find it. Uh, I know I see it right here.
Mhm.
Okay. So Brandon, here, I'll just put it up there, bro. I'll let you read it.
Mm. So you saying you gonna try and stay on the inside of McQueen? If he's down, if he want that smoke, he come stay in that pocket with me. He gonna find out real quick. It's not a good place for him. He knows. I already made him quit the last time he came to our gym. He trained, he sparred with us. He only could go 2 rounds, and I was going 10% on him. And I made him run the whole entire sparring session. So it's funny that this guy has all this balls and all this, the audacity to try to, disrespect me in which I'm trying to compliment him. It feels like he wanted to create an environment in which we didn't like each other, because no matter what, like I'll fight anybody, no matter what. As long as they're not my brother or they're not someone that would say disrupt the relationships that we had with our family. So for example, if one of my friends had good relationship with my kids, then I'll probably not fight that person because it's greater than that. You know what I mean? I don't want any relationships severed outside of just us. But it was just McQueen. I don't know his family. I don't know anything about him besides we've been we trained one time together. And so I'll fight anybody. Like I said, I'll fight anybody. And um I'm just glad that he accepted the fight because Mel has been having a hard time finding me fights. And then with him talking all that smack online after I gave him a compliment about what's it called? He was nominated as one of the brawlers, the best brawlers of BYB. And I was like, you're not a brawler, bro. You're a boxer. You're probably one of the better boxers in BYB. And he lost his shit and started tripping. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, chill out, dude. And I tried to de-escalate it, and he just kept still running his mouth and getting lippy and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I see where you standing, and um, come June 14, you're gonna wish that you never crossed that line with me. I'm a kind guy, man. It takes a lot to piss me off, and the way that he's been acting, the way that his fans have been talking about me. I give no reason for anyone to dislike me you know and so yeah,
I'm going to go back up in the comments, but I come from the boxing world, and I probably know more about bare knuckle than anybody on this show, any bare knuckle fighter. Because I go back to the BK, bare knuckle in the United Kingdom. So, even before it was even thought about in the United States. But my boy, he's one of Larry Holmes' biggest fans. Also, one of Larry Holmes' best friend. It says, being a counter puncher because Brandon says, so you're saying you're going to try to stay on the inside with McKean, and it's called being a counterpuncher.
that's what I do.
And then Brandon laughs about it. And Brandon, you know me, bro. You don't disrespect my show. You haven't yet, and we good because I know you want to say something. But then he said, "Wow." And then he says, "So y'all got in there already?" The man just explained it to you, Brandon. McQueen came to their gym with the preacher man,
Yep.
and after 2-3 rounds, he left. He dipped.
Yep.
And so
2 rounds with me, and the first 2 rounds I was going light as eggs. I was going so light.
then he said he never knew you two had words. Well, this is where I'll say something, bro. I like you, Brandon, but you can't be the third party in a conversation. You can jump to McQueen and ask him what was said and then come back on here, or bring McQueen on here, because McQueen, he always watches my show. I respect everybody, but I'm not going to have my guests disrespected, bro. And I know you won't, because I know you're like that. He said, McQueen, my boy, but all respect to you, brother. That's all I'm asking for, homie. That's all I ask for, Brandon. We all got to respect each other at the end of the day, because even if you don't like him and McQueen don't like him, when you get after you beat each other's ass for 7 rounds, you're going to respect each other.
100%. I'm gonna put some respect on everybody I fight. Every person I fight will respect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a gentleman's sport, guys. Just because we're doing bare knuckle doesn't mean this can't be a gentleman's sport, bro. It takes a real man to step in this ring. You know what I mean? And for all this smoke that people be talking and trolling on the outside is ridiculous. Some of these fighters barely touched the surface when it comes to combat sports. I've been doing this shit for a long time. I've been in the trenches for a long time. So it's hilarious how people can talk this way with fighters and stuff like that. It's just a new generation of fighters, man. It's crazy. I'm an old school cat, so I probably come from the same type of generation that kind of you grew up around, and they instilled those values in me. Respect is important, man. It's one of the the biggest pillars of mixed martial arts, and a lot of fighters lost that.
Let me clarify something. Hey, Brandon, I'm not saying you're being disrespectful. All I'm saying is don't speak from a third party, bro. If you're saying that you didn't know they had words, okay, that's cool. All I ask is, bro, I respect you. If you were on my show, I would want facts, not hearsay. I would respect you. I still respect you on that level. You already know that, bro. We good. You already know. He says, I have no beef with nobody, bro. I'm 125, 130 a day, 135. I respect all that. Well, see, bro, the thing of it is, you could come into play into this because I'm gonna let John
Yeah,
say if this walk goes right at 135, where are you going, John?
125, baby. So you know what I mean. Like I said, whatever I can do to solidify my keep in this realm is what I'm gonna do. I fought at 155 my first few fights. And now I'm going down to 35, my original fight weight. And I could have fought at 125, but I could never find matches at 125. I have over 50 competition fights. I took a decent layoff, but your boy didn't leave, man. That 10 years was just me marinating in the pot, really wanting to get back in there, building up the drive and the motivation and the urge to want to come back. This generation is soft, the fighters. These fighters nowadays is soft. They will never be able to say or accomplish the things that the generation that I fought in. I've never fought an easy fight. I've never took in a fight in which I'm like a 200-300 favor. There's no way. Every fight was freaking hard. I've never had an easy fight, not one time. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
I'm gonna oblige these two compliments because Brandon's always been good to me, and then we're gonna go back to the interview where we were. Because he makes a pretty bold statement on his last comment, but he says, I'm just hearing all of this. Only reason I'm asking, I have not spoke or seen McQueen. Hey, bro, either have I since he flaked on me on the show. He called me, asked me to do a show. I hooked the show up. He never showed up, never contacted me back, never apologized to me. Now, this is a situation that you can deal with John. He said, and when you come to 125, I'll deal with you. What do you got to say, John?
We'll just see what Mr. Burr will do with you. He's fighting Burr on the same card, isn't he? I believe, or yeah.
Yeah, I believe Burr.
So you focus the fight at hand. You know what I mean? Don't you're gonna bite off too much that you can't chew. You know what I mean? So simmer down a little bit. Focus on the fight ahead of you, one fight at a time, guys. And then we can talk about potentials. We'll see where you at. How many fights does he have at all right now?
Who, Brandon?
Yeah. Well, not Brandon, but this commenter guy.
He ain't gonna answer, but he's agreeing with you. He says, "Yeah, that's an easy fight." Burr's not no joke, bro. Burr isn't a joke. I'm gonna tell you that Burr's not a joke. See, the great thing about the camaraderie, Brandon, I like you. You brought some intriguing things to this, and generally, to be honest with you, John, I don't play this part, but you know what? It is the fight industry, and sometimes things got to be said. Brandon didn't know that there had been some animosity. It got clarified, and when you go down to 125, y'all can settle that then.
That's cool.
But I'm gonna go all the way back up here and get back to the people that commented on my stuff, so I could get back on with the interview, bro. I apologize, but I think it needed to be aired out. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
My brother Jonathan Cole from Tennessee says, "Great to be on tonight with Don and John. Love having you, brother." A fighter that Chris Shaggy Gonzalez, another BYB fighter, said, "What a great day to be alive and fighting bare knuckle."
Yes, sir.
And then he says, "What's good, Don and John?" Hey, bro, They canceled my surgery. I've been waiting for 3.5 years, so I'm a little unhappy about that because it's a cervical spine, and they're just really. I had one cigarette in the last month, and they're going to cancel my surgery because I had one cigarette.
Oh no.
But in the reality, what it is there's all these illegals coming into the country. The medical system is burdened, and the federal government has given hundreds of thousands of people free medical care, so insurance companies aren't wanting to pay out like they used to. But I had to get an attorney, so we'll work it out. It'll all go right because
Joe,
nah. And Jonathan Cole says, looking forward to the match. Hey, everybody is. This card's lit. I will say this, and I'll be honest with you. I'm not best of friends with Mel. I'm not even a great friend with Mel. We know each other passing and coming in this industry. But the man is doing one hell of a job.
Yes, definitely.
I mean,
I'm definitely glad connected with these guys because they definitely know how to take care of fighter. You have a very good intimate relationship with the BYB team, and I like that. You don't get missed and skipped, and you don't feel like you're a sheepdog in the group. So I really really enjoy this industry for sure.
Well, now that we bought BKB TM over there in Europe, it opens up. You've only fought 3 times in the last 2 years, so now you got a whole new Rolodex of fighters, bro. You got.
Some of them. I tasted one of them already. You know what I mean? So they real. I think the competition there are really, really good there. The only thing that they lack is the ability to clinch. And so once they figure that out, man, bruh, the United States is gonna have their hands full because these guys have been doing this for a very long time. It's kind of in their blood as well. So, a lot of these bare knuckle brawlers, I'm gonna say, they have no idea what they're about to embark on when the BKB guys get here because they're very they good, they good. There's only a handful that's transitioned into this bare knuckle boxing, and if you listen to Paul Malignaggi, explains very well why, because you cannot bring that same type of energy, that same type of technique that you would normally in doing in boxing here. You know what I mean? In the bare knuckle arena, it's not the same. You get hurt really easily.
Well, see, what I noticed with a lot of the European fighters, because I managed Anthony Holmes. He became the BKFC cruiserweight champion over in the UK. They did him wrong, and BKFC is making their fighters sell for tickets. You got to sell tickets to fight, which I don't think is right. And that's why I had Mike and Greg on the other night. We talked about we're building a glass house. You could see everything that's going on. We're not hiding nothing, but we're going to build it the right way. So 50 years from now, your kids, that if they want to fight bare knuckle, will still be fighting bare knuckle. We'll always have a house. We're not building something to make it all shiny, like Mike said, and sell it. BYB will never change ownership. We're building this for the long haul, where most people build promotions to flip them. We're not flipping this house, so a tremendous boxing promoter that I really love this dude, man. He's kind of like me. He cares about the youth in the sport. He says, not familiar with BYB, but I love fights. And Don Mcguire is awesome. He has an awesome podcast, and he brings out the best of the fighters that come on a show. This podcast never disappoints, and John's victory is right around the corner.
Let's go.
Messi, that's one thing I'm not going to see. It's weird because people don't really understand this. They think that boxing and MMA are the same as far as the click. It's not. You go to boxing, it's like this. You go to MMA, it's like this. And there's no relevance because, see, even when I got inducted, this last time, no love from the MMA world. None whatsoever. And then, it got me to the point that I was just thinking about, I'm just done with all this. I spent 40 years in this industry. I was hated in the beginning. I'm hated even more now for accomplishing things. And then 2 days before I was going to make the decision, I had over 20 world champions call me. and tell me, bro, you earned this.
That's right.
And so when I said, you know what, if they hated me since day one and they still hate me now, and Mike Vasquez is the first one to tell me because I put up, I'm sorry for so many Hall of Fame posts. He said, "F that, bro. You earned this. You brag about it from the rooftops." And everybody said the same thing. So I've only bragged about two out of my 8 Hall of Fames. And so I took Mike's advice and I said, you know what? If you're gonna hate me, you're gonna hate me. But
You know,
I'm not gonna put baby in the corner, bro, because I accomplished something that many men, you know, the National Boxing Hall of Fame, most of the time you gotta be dead to get into this Hall of Fame. It's the second most prestigious.
you know you're doing something right when you got haters. You know what I mean? So that's why it doesn't really tick me too much in regards to the trolls that's going after, talking about me and whatnot. Because at the end of the day, that's what their job is, meant to do. So let them hate, man.
Oh, I am now after Mike told me that. You know, I'm hey. Chris Shaggy Gonzalez says, so this is Bernard's first fight at 135.
Technically, in the bare knuckle space, yes. Most all my MMA and kickboxing matches was at 135 and 145. So, it's not a far fetch space for me. Definitely a place that I feel most comfortable. Be a little bit more elusive, and I'm gonna be packing that same power that I had, post 140. So it's gonna be a really nice fight for me. At this weight class. Really excited about this fight.
Let's see. My brother from Drayton, Canada, he says, sorry, coming in late. He said post at 7. Yeah, it is 7 p.m. Central.
Mhm.
But Canada, I guess some countries don't do daylight savings time,
Mhm.
so it screws everything up. Um, Paul Driscoll says, hello, John. Respect. I like the way you speak. It's
Thank you.
pure class. I think that's what's been missing from the sport for a long time. In a lot of ways, you remind me of Cub Hawkins.
Mhm.
Intellectually, soft-spoken, a man that believes in his family, loves life, and has a spiritual aspect to him. And everybody that's watching right now already knows this, but I'll tell you, he reminds me of Hagler because
Yeah.
when he goes to an event, he doesn't sit around nobody. He doesn't talk to nobody. And so I had him on the show for, I think it was the third time, and I said, Cub, why? You remind me of Hagler. Why are you this way? He said, you're here to take my head off in front of my parents, my wife, my kids, and my fans. Why should I like you? And when you sit back and think about it, I mean, they are coming to beat your ass in front of your family. But after the fight is done, like I said, if you don't have mutual respect for your opponent, even if you lose, then that's on you because I've never been in a fight that I didn't walk away respecting the individual that hold on, I'm sorry about that. I did, there's always got to be respect after a war. You
Absolutely.
look
At the
at
end of the day,
look at Lee. What was that?
it's a sport, just like football, basketball, all those types. It's a sport. The only thing is we're doing some contact. I've never I've never had. In fact, almost every fight that I've had, I've been able to, like, every fighter, every person that I've fought in, I could definitely reach out to them and say, "What's up?" No problem. Um, yeah, it's always been a respectful thing. This is I don't know what happened, man. I really don't know. I
No,
didn't the animosity needed. At the end of the day, like
well,
I said, it's the sport. I don't take it personal.
no, it's changed from my era to your era. I come from the golden era, and it wasn't like this. And then I had to deal with a change of the Conor McGregor and
Mm,
different kind of smack talking and everything. I wasn't cool with that.
mhm.
But now the
Yeah,
world kind of has taken,
they
huh?
weren't smack talking as much in your
Not in the
generation.
beginning, not in the early days,
Yeah,
but
everyone was good. That's why it was always a
they
flip of a coin, no?
they knew how to
Everyone,
fight.
yeah, everyone could fight, man. Back in those days, everyone could fight. So it's like, I don't want to talk no smack just in case I got to eat my words. You know what I mean? And that's like I said, that's where I come from. I come from a place where anything can happen, man. Anything can happen, especially MMA or bare knuckle. All it takes is one. So I try to keep a humble umbrella over me at all times because at any time God can be like, "Hey, we're done already." You know what I mean? And take me away from this sport altogether. There's been a lot of individuals, passing away from boxing now. I've been seeing more and more now. So more so we have to be more kind to one another and really push forward um a type of environment or an example that doesn't ban this sport, because if we continue down this trajectory with individuals losing their lives because of whether it's weight cut or whatever the case may be, they will ban this sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know it seems vicious, but if we can keep the gentlemanness in this sport, it will stay around for a long time. And that's something that I want to encourage a lot of fighters to do, is keep the respect, man, because at the end of the day, people are trying to feed their family utilizing this sport. You know what I mean? And I see, I don't know where people come from and whether they're from, very rough backgrounds. Who knows what family member is on the, lurking to do harm against your opponent after they take a loss or something. So if we can instill this type of respect, mutual respect, and that goes a long way to the fans to ensure a safe environment, because people might be bringing their kids too, you know what I mean? And seeing all that craziness is not the greatest, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this comment up here, and this is gonna be the last time I do it. Brandon, me, and you are straight, bro, and we will be straight until you disrespect my show or me, and you haven't done that. But with that being said, I'm gonna put this comment up here, and if John's my guest, so whatever John wants to say is gonna come out his mouth.
Mhm.
So you took the time to write this, so I'm gonna take the time to share it with him, and you got to take the time to deal with whatever he tells you, bro. He said, let's make this clear. I don't got beef with nobody, and I don't see nobody in this fight game. I can box, and I can brawl. Been doing this shit a long time. We're gonna be a walkover. Trust me. If I get to 125, I want you next, John.
Oh my lord. I haven't heard of this guy yet. I don't think he's been in on my radar at all. You know what I mean? I finished all of my opponents within 2 rounds. Your boy cannot say the same. I take people out. I finish them, I drown them. You know, or I stop them. I made the last guy want to quit, and I actually encouraged him not to. He said he was no longer going to fight. That was the roughest fight he ever had, and that was just a body shot. So, um, if you really want this, bro, if you want to sign up for your funeral, it's all up to you, brother.
Fair enough. John Nichols says I'm a huge fan of John, of combat sports, and Mike and BYB are solid. Great to see all the fighters come in there. You know, it's true because like I told Mike and Greg on the show the other night, and I know Mike, me and Mike talk all the time, so I know Mike understood where I was coming from. But when you have a show like this and you see Shaggy and Brandon and other, but you'll also see the Preacher Man, you'll see Tommy Turner, Gigliotti. Everybody comes to watch everybody's shows, and I told Mike, I said that's a breath of fresh air for me. I said because these guys are fighting each other, but yet they're still coming and paying each other respects on their interviews. And I said that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's how it was, man, when I grew up.
Well, same with me. I got a problem with you. We go out behind a school building, we beat the shit out of each other, and then I have dinner at your house, or you have dinner at mine.
Yeah, my last MMA fight, me and that guy became very best friends. He's from Canada. He became the best man at my wedding. Like that's the type of person I am. So, this Jake Paul style of whatever you got going on, dude, is not gonna do nothing for your career, bro. You know, um, build your brand. I'm gonna give you some pointers. Build your brand. Build your record. Less talking. Do your talking within the ring, and then that will take you further than you talking smack. Trust me.
My brother Paul Driscoll says word. Well, I've watched the other promotion. It's disgusting the way they built that promotion. You know, used leftovers and then drag people off the street from tryouts. I love the way this promotion is bringing young, vibrant, new talent, talent that has ability, that can fight. You know, I'm tired of seeing people come into bare knuckle and throw like this. You know,
Yeah,
well, I'm a boxing fan. You know, I want that clean, crisp.
for
You
sure, man.
know,
That's what I
and I'll
told
tell you,
the last fight. Like, bro, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to really showcase boxing in this realm. It's there's not much fighters that's doing it. Not much at all.
you know, I have to give. I can't remember his name right now for some reason, but the dude that just fought Uli,
Oh yeah, Zion or something.
Zion. Yeah,
Zion.
nobody believed in him. Nobody believed that he, in his statement, that he was going to go out there and destroy the monster,
Mm.
and he did. You know, and I'll be honest. I had Uli on my show. I didn't think Zion Thomason was going to be able to destroy the monster, but you know what?
Yuli, my boy. That's my boy for a long time. So, that was a shocker to me. Props to him, and I'm pretty sure Yuli would say the same thing. Yuli is a very respectable man. He changed, he flipped a new leaf, and he knows how important respect is, and that's something that he's been able to do. Zion was able to gain Yuli's respect, and that's all it is at the end of the day.
You know, I wish I would have put you on my show sooner. Well, it's kind of different. I know there's some boxing people on here, but if your voice was just a little bit deeper, man, you're dead on ringer the way Sugar Shane Mosley talks and looks at life and appreciates life. You know, um, I just like that when a fighter cares and really wants to make a difference, not only for themselves, but they want to see others come up. What is it about the untamable one that wants to see others succeed on the walk that you're on?
I've seen a lot of fighters lose their life trying to pursue a combat sport career. And as an individual that was on the brink of hitting the starlight, the biggest scenes and all that kind of stuff, and getting injured, and watching the career just flash right before me has been a very hard thing to endure. So I understand that this is a hard walk, man, and not everyone can make it, but they should understand that individuals like me is proud of them for even trying to take that walk, because not everyone willing to do this. And so I just want everyone to enjoy the road that they're on, regardless of where they go, because life is too short, man. I just lost my sister a week ago, about a week and a half ago, and so that was something that really touched home to me, because she was young, 30, towards her late 30s, and she left behind a husband and two kids, and so you're not promised tomorrow, so for you to have this chip on your shoulder, for you to disrespect individuals, and you not wake up tomorrow and not be able to forgive or ask for forgiveness for those things, it's gonna be tough, man, because you're gonna have to you lay in grave with that, and every individual that has the ability to forgive you for that, they can, but you can't, and so that's something that really holds a good place in me, because I don't want to leave this earth with any enemies, um, and I don't want to leave this earth as a bitter man at all, so
I love you, bro. You a good dude, man. And Tommy Turner says, God bless Don and Bernard. What would you like to say to the samurai, bro? What kind of words of encouragement can
man,
you
I
give?
really enjoy his fighting style, man. He really reminds me of myself. Just the we call it a bang, just get out there and bang, and I love that about him. There's not that much fighters can die on the sword like he does, and I appreciate watching fights like that. I like both of them. I just knew that was going to be a freaking fireworks of a fight, man. I just knew it. It was just who was going to be the first to give up or get hurt or whatnot, and And it was just a great fight, man. And I definitely like what you do. Keep doing what you're doing, bro, because you are bringing a level of excitement that most fighters can never bring to the game. You know, you're fighting the best of the best right off the gate, bro. Right out the gate, your first 3 fights were like animals. You know, it's crazy. I fought on one of the card in London with him. You know, and that was cool. I didn't really talk much to him. He was locked in, but it was a freaking it was a battle, you know. So I appreciate guys that die on the sword like that, you know, and that's the kind of guy I am. So I attract those. I gravitate to those individuals for sure.
I love that. And Jonathan Cole says, yes, Don, and correct. Respect of each other like John. You know, and I believe there's so many comments coming in, bro. A lot of people like who you are.
Oh,
I,
that's so
I
nice.
but man, I can't even get caught up, bro. But basically, Jonathan Cole said, sincerest condolences with your sister, and I'd like to extend that because I know what it's like. You know, I went my whole life without a mother,
Mhm.
and you know, and then when I was 30 years old, God, I got to find what his comment is. But when I was 30 years old, my mother told me she loved me for the first time and told me why. And so I figured, you know what, I can either have a mother or I could just let the lady go since I didn't really know her. And I chose to have a mother. And
It's great, man.
let's just do this, see if it takes that off. Yeah, good. And so I had 4 years with her. I called her every day. I flew out there. I flew her out here, and she died in my arms. You know, last October, my son got one of the most rare spine infections in the world. They didn't have a cure. It was all trial and error. And when I was, you know, gave my Hall of Fame induction speech, I just told everybody to appreciate life because it can be gone in a moment.
Yeah.
Those you love, those you care about, and even yourself. You know, I've been through 234 surgeries, and you know, it's like tomorrow was supposed to be another surgery. I'm sorry, 253 surgeries, and tomorrow was supposed to be my 254th. And honestly, I was mad about it, but now I'm sitting here going, maybe God has another reason why I'm not going into the operating room tomorrow. You know, maybe there's a greater purpose of why I'm not. But your boy and Brandon, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put one more comment up here, and bro, me and you are good, but I'm not responsible for what John says. So, but I'm not gonna let you disrespect him on my show either. So we'll be clear. I'll put the comment up, and then I'll let him read it.
Your boy got a chin, very tested chin. You gonna see. He's already demonstrated that he ain't got no chin. So I'm about to put that. About to put his test. Well, I'm not even gonna test his chin. I know his chin is testable. So yeah, your boy got a chin. Granite chin, they call it. Ask anybody. Ask Ryan Jett. You know Ryan Jett. Ryan Jett, he a slug. Ask Ryan Jett. Ask Trucker. Ask Tony Loco Soto. Ask Keith, baby, the BKFC champ. Ask him about me, boy. This boy, I'm telling you, you guys are. Oh man. Oh man, I needed that comment, man. But you know, just touching on what you were saying, man. Your mom, you knew her for about 4 years. You know, my sister that passed away, I just got to know her for about 4 years too. So it kind of resonated and really kind of put dust in the air and kind of got the best of me. Because for over 15 years, avoided trying to build a relationship with my sister, and about 2019 is when I started to really try to get to know her. And, you know, for her to just get taken away has been it's crazy, you know. So that was another level of not regret, but something to consider, you know. Like I said, our lives are not promised at any day, man. Any day we could just be gone. And all the memories that you could have created, you know, is gone. So yeah, man. I resonate to your story as well. So appreciate life and appreciate people in general, you know. It's what God put us on this earth to do is love people, love our neighbors. So
You know, too much hate. I mean, the world's already full of hate. You know,
it's full of too much everything right now.
right? Hey Brian, it's 6:37 for you, bro, but it's 7:54. Well, it'd be 6:54 for you, so it's 7:54 for me, and it's 9:54 for John.
It's 8:54 for me.
8:54 for John. You know what I mean? Uh, but hey, Bill Clancy. I don't know if you know who Bill Clancy is. One of the greatest referees in the history of,
That's
of
right.
boxing. Yeah.
So,
He's just praying for your health, my brother.
thank you, man. Thank you. I had a conversation with him. Had a few fighters that fought, and he refed their fights. Pretty cool. Pretty cool guy. His professionalism.
Bill,
His coaching.
Bill's my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, that's my best friend in life. You know, we've known each other since the end of '83, beginning of '84, and then there was a little bit of time we didn't see each other. And then I ran into him in Jackson, Mississippi. He was getting on an elevator and he had his back turned towards me. And I said, "Man, don't act like you don't effing know me." And he turned around and it was just God put us in that elevator together because our life together has just been absolutely tremendous. Me and him have been going into Hall of Fame after Hall of Fame, getting acknowledgement after acknowledgement. And I told him, I said, "You're not going nowhere, bro. You're my good luck charm."
He knows what he's
But
doing. See, very seasoned, and he really enjoys and loves this sport, man. It's crazy. Has he ever refed any bare knuckle before?
Bill was one of the first to ref bare knuckle.
Oh well, we better get his to Jacksonville, baby. He ain't calling him. I'd rather have him referee this fight.
Ask for him, bro. All you gotta do is ask for him.
Well, I'm asking.
We'll see. I'll make that call. A good friend of mine, I was just on a show last night. They were supposed to have a special guest for me, Kung Lee.
Oh,
Times got messed up, but like I told Stax, I said, things happen in life. I said, at least I got to chill with you and your people on your show.
nice.
So instead of always looking at a negative, we can turn it into a positive. Yeah. Was I disappointed that Kung Lee didn't come on when he was supposed to? Yeah, but at the same time, I got to share my story with hundreds, if not thousands, of people who don't know me. So it's a blessing either way. Everybody wants to look at life as a downfall, but it's not. But I got a question for you, bro. And I never today's show I did different than I generally do any other show. But it's just because you're articulated, you're well mannered, and that Brandon jumped in here with that. But
Malarkey.
yeah, we all struggle in life to find a place, and when we do find that place, a lot of us put our heart, our mind, our soul to it. So you were already in kickboxing and mixed martial arts. What was it like for you to be on bended knee and to lay that stone down to expand the path of Jon Barnard, the untamable one? What was it like for you to lay that stone down and create a wider path for yourself moving into the future in bare knuckle?
The funny thing is, bare knuckle found me. To be honest, I was probably at the end of my rope when it comes to trying to fight. It just didn't seem attractive to me, and the competition was very weak compared to the generation that I fought in. Like I said, I'm gonna keep harping on that. And so what happened was I had a fighter, one of my students that I was training. Her name is Andrea Carter. She one of my friends started training with me. I trained her for about 6 months, and excuse me, 3 months. And in 3 months, I took her to a North Carolina boxing tournament, and she won in 2 weight classes. And so, getting her started and in the mix of things really, really got me going. And in fact, it's a cool full circle because my coach did the same to me. So he made me corner him, and that's what lit the fire under my butt to want to fight.
Oh, hold on a second, bro. I don't mean to interrupt you. Brandon, fuck you, dude. And I'm going to talk to Mike Vasquez and I'm going to talk to Bel Valenzuela. I don't appreciate you coming on my fucking show, disrespecting my fucking guest. You want to come on here and say, wow, you boys are sensitive and disrespected. No, ain't nobody said that, bro. All I said was just keep it cool and we ain't going to have no problem. I said, you ain't disrespected me. I said, but I can't control what John says. You know what? You can stay the fuck off my show because you know what? You're permanently banned from my show now, bro. So fuck you. Sorry about that, homie.
Oh, you good.
I don't play that shit.
They're they're doing that, what's it called? They're trying to talk shit for clout, I guess, you know what I mean?
Well, McQueen's probably on the other side of them telling them what to say. And you know what, Harold? Me and you got a problem now, bro. Me and you got a problem.
Yeah.
You're not going to come on. I didn't let nobody disrespect you on your interview. So you better control your boy if you got something to do with it, because I'm going to call Mike and I'm going to call Greg because they pay for this show and you're disrespecting a fellow fighter from your promotion and you're making yourself look like an ass, and you're not going to do that on my dime, bro.
Like that.
I apologize, my friend, and I apologize to my listeners. My listeners know I already do this crap, bro. I don't take it.
What's up, man?
Well, I'm old school.
Me too, man. That's why it just drives me nuts when people try to step out of pocket when you've done nothing but been respectful to individuals, you know?
All I was trying to be was respectful to him, bro. I said, hey, whatever Jon says, Jon says. Me and you, we ain't got a problem. Just keep it clean. If you want to come on here and talk all that crap, he can get off my show. I don't need that on my show. With that being said, we're going to take a quick little break here, and then when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. I'm not too happy with you, bro.
BYB Extreme Bare Knuckle and the Mighty Trigon make their Jacksonville, Florida debut on Friday, June 14th at the Prime Osborne Convention Center for BYB 27. Brawl in Duval. BYB Featherweight World Champion Harold Lightning McQueen begins his quest for more gold when he faces off against the untamable one, Jon Barnard, in a lightweight title eliminator fight. Plus, it's a rematch, a grudge match, a year and a half in the making, when Red Sonja Dryling looks to avenge her London loss over 600 days ago to the Red Queen, Jamie Driver. Don't miss all the action. Visit BYBExtreme.com for tickets and information.
Man, I tell you what, I apologize to my listeners, but I don't play that crap. And Chris, if you want to go that route too, bro, we can go that route too. I don't know if you're trying to, but right now I'm not in a good place. Y'all already messed up my man's interview, and that ain't right. He says the man in the mirror question, but then he says, I know Jon has had his share of crap talk in his combat sports career. It's combat sports. But I'm not going to sit here and let Brandon come on here and say that we've been sensitive and disrespectful. And bro, I really don't give two fucks who Brandon is. I'll put my prosthesis on the leg and drop down to 125 and fight you too, bro. You know, I don't give two chumps about it, bro. You're not going to come on here and ruin what the promotion is paying for. So you could take that, you and McQueen and whoever else. I don't give two shits. I don't need you. Y'all ain't even tall enough to touch my nuts. So, I mean, on the real, unless you at my level, don't even try to come at my level.
Yeah.
With that being said, I apologize, Jon.
That's cool. That's funny because, you know, I'm never one to initiate trash talking. In fact, the only individuals that I had kind of not coarse words, but, you know, some out of pocket words was against Cub Hawkins. And it was because I was making reference into the BYB made a post in regards to who the top brawlers. I kind of made reference, right, about McQueen, and they had McQueen, Cub Hawkins, what's his name, LT Smasher, and whatnot. And I said, hands down, the best is LT or Ulera, I think his name, the one that beat LT.
Sam Liera.
Those two are the actual best brawlers in the game. Period, hands down. And that, you know, they took offense. You know, they took offense that I shared my opinion, and that was trash talking. Then he started running there. Cub Hawkins started running his mouth, and what's name started. And then I said, also McQueen is not a brawler; he's a boxer. And I was trying to compliment him. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, "Oh, what are you about?" You know, just going off. I'm like, "Bro, I'm complimenting you. I'm literally telling him, I'm complimenting you. You're a good boxer in the game." You know, I told him they should make a boxer, you know, like a ranking. who's the top boxers in the game, and Harold would be one of those top guys. And so hopefully June 14th, I can take that spot now. You know what I mean? Because at first I was saying it was him, but now I'm gonna have to show that it ain't him no more.
Bro,
And
you were trying to be respectful. You were trying to show respect. You were trying to be classy. It's like, and from the get go, we've already talked about it too much. But like I told Brandon, keep it clean. Don't disrespect my guests. We don't have a problem. I mean, even Paul Driscoll says true. I mean, and Shaggy did come back corrected. He says, I meant against you, especially in the other organization ranks. But see, Chris, I don't play this shit. You see me throw people off my show time and time again. I don't owe anybody anything, but I'm not going to let, a fighter from our organization. I'm going to call Mel as soon as we get off the show, and I'm going to call Mike as soon as we get off the show, because I'm not going to tolerate this. I don't have to sit and spend my time giving you an interview and have these little. It's just not going to work out that way. And Anthony C. Cruz, hey, bro, I'll get you back on my friends list. I don't know what happened. Facebook's been tripping since it's been this AI garbage, but I'm going to ask you a couple more questions, bro, and then we'll let you go. I'm very happy I had you on my show tonight.
thanks, man.
I really am, because you're a talented young man. You're articulated. You speak your mind. You don't put anybody down. You don't trash anybody. You just speak the truth.
Mhm.
And you remind me of people from the era that I came from in boxing. We didn't do all this trash talk and tear everybody down, and we just went in there and fought. Best man that won. We all went out to dinner and we all celebrated, had a great time, and we all appreciated each other. Why do you think at these Hall of Fames there's several legends all in one room? Nobody's tiffing or gang banging with anybody. Ain't none of that crap up in here.
Nope.
And if you want that kind of crap, go to BKFC. That's the trailer park of the sport. You're not going to bring that crap over to BYB, something that I hold near and dear in my heart. But bro, I do. Chris asked me to ask the man in the mirror question, and I'm going to finish the show off with that because I think it's very relevant after tonight's show. It's the end of the night, and you're the last one in the gym, bro. And you make sure everything's turned off. You get to the front door, and you go to hit that light switch to turn the light off to walk out the door. And for some reason, you get a brief, deep look into Jon Barnard. Who do you see? What has it added to you? And what do you take from it?
Who do I see? What is it to me?
What has it added to your life? And what have you taken from it?
Dang, that's a deep question. It's a great question. Outside of the combat sport side of things, I think it really created a lot of resilience within my heart. It also really stamped a sense of pride, knowing that I don't have to be a tough guy outside of the world, outside the MMA world, and I can be this gentle and kind person to my children, knowing that I can probably whoop people's ass, you know what I mean? So knowing that in the background, I can be kind, I can be sweet, I can be gentle, I can kiss my kids, I can love them and not feel like a bum or something, you know what I mean? Because, quite frankly, I see a lot of fathers that's not wanting to, step in that realm and do that type of soft stuff with their kids, And so I get to do that and know that no matter what anyone says or thinks of me, that they can never try to take away the man's man card that I own. You know what I mean? And so that's probably the biggest thing, walking out of looking at myself and knowing that. And then also just being able to know that I created a legacy, a standard for my life that is going to be pretty high for my kids to achieve, in which it will give them a good base in which their life should be based off of, So the higher, the more I reach, the more tough their life should be to get to where I'm at. And every parent's goal is to have their kids achieve more than we have. And so I want to get it as high as I can so that they can at least meet that or hopefully go beyond that, you know. So
Yeah.
that answer your question. So it's really yeah, man, this MMA combat stuff just really makes me a better father, a better human, you know. You know, the what's the saying that Joe Rogan stated, you know, I'd rather have a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. And that's me, you know, I want to be that guy. So
That's dope, bro. I really enjoyed having you on my show tonight. You know, I'm sorry that people don't understand what adult conversation is like. They got to come in here and then look stupid and then try to turn around and look like we were the sensitive, unarticulated ones. It's pathetic. You know, I'm not even going to give him the time of the day because, you know, at the end of the day, he got to answer to me.
yeah.
And, you know, I'm going to leave it at that because, you know, nowadays people want to call the police and this and that. But, you know, one day, Brandon, you're going to run into me. I can go to any event I want for BYB. I can be at any show I want. I can be anywhere I want. You know, so the future is imminent, bro. Let's just put it that way. But see, what I think it is they don't like that, John, that you're coming in here and you've got ability, you've got a talent, you've got charisma, and this is what this promotion needs.
Mhm.
You know, I thought McQueen had it too, and then his head got this damn big, and then he got to have his boy come up on here and ruin your interview. They don't do that to anybody else's.
No.
You know, like my boy Paul says, with class.
You should see my comments, man. You know the post that BYB posted? All of my
Yeah.
fans is flooding the comments, and you got his trolls on there just talking smack, saying like calling me names and just disrespecting my fans that saying they hope I win and stuff like bro. And I had to hit McQueen up like, bro, get your troll, bro. None of my fans is disrespecting you or your people. You know what I mean? So it's interesting that this person also did the same thing that the other troll did. You know, it's
Yeah, but
weird.
where he messed up is I work for BYB.
Yeah.
I'm not just some troll on the internet, bro. I work for BYB. The owner is one of my best friends. So we'll have a little talk about that. My adopted grandfather, I'm glad you jumped on here, Artie, before we kind of wrap things up. He says, good to see you, Don. Another warrior ready to war.
Yes, sir.
You got to go back and watch the show. Artie, you might be a little bit disappointed in me in a couple situations, but at the same time, you're going to love John. He's very articulate, and I really loved the interview with him tonight. You know, John, my sincerest, you know, feelings towards, you know, you and your family for the loss of your sister. I know what it's like to hurt and still pick up and move forward.
Yes, sir.
You know, I believe in you, bro. And it seems like you're just going to have to go show that, you know, these other people in this promotion who you truly are, you know, and the great thing about it is they should be able to see it just by talking to you like I did. Anthony Cruz says, as a fighter, there is no need to be a tough guy all the time. Not healthy.
Not at all, brother. That's why enjoying the ride, baby. Can't enjoy the ride. It's tough.
Right? We were having a chill time.
Yes, sir. We'll make up for it the next time.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely make up for it. But brother, I want to wish you the best of luck for BYB 27. You know, it shouldn't have had to play out this way, but you're a tremendous young man. I've watched some of your other stuff. I looked at your career, and welcome to BYB, man. Welcome to a place that you're going to be able to show the world who you truly are and showcase your ability. You know, it's like I told Mike, just because I'm an amputee doesn't mean I can't fight bare knuckle. I can still fight bare knuckle.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
great thing about bare knuckle. You only need two hands.
Yes, sir.
But I think, Paul, like I said, I think Paul said it best. You handled this with class, you know, and I'm just an old school boxing dude that I don't give two craps. I'm going to tell you right then and there because if you're going to hear it from somebody, you're going to hear it from me.
Yeah, right from the
But
horse.
go out there and, well, Paul says, heavenly, everlasting prayers to your dear sister.
Thank you.
See, that's how my people roll. This is how my friends roll. This is how my show generally rolls. But you know what? Every once in a while,
Next one I
you
get my
get
on your Facebook. You'll see it's very similar. You'll love my fans, man. Very respectful. A lot of aloha, we call it. If you know, you know.
Yeah, man, you Islanders are real people, man. See, that's like, well, that's another story for another show because I tell you, when I was the vice president for Jackson Wink,
Oh, nice.
and I was the head of that. I was the head of athlete development for them. But like I told you before we went live, I love dealing with Pacific Islanders and just people from different parts of the world because they appreciate and understand a little bit differently than some people do. And you Islanders, man, especially we talk about Leland.
Mm,
That's my dog, bro. And you got Liam Mcguire. He might have been born in the UK, but he lives in Hawaii. Because why? Because the slow life is the better life.
we got Max Holloway. It's my boy.
Kendall Grove.
Kendall, I know all of these guys very, very well, man. The talent in Hawaii is ridiculous, man. It's just the slow life will get you. You know what I mean? If you're not on it, and so the ones that really got out is because they were disciplined enough to. The other ones that didn't was it was like a diamond that just didn't get found. That's all it was, man. Got so much diamonds in Hawaii, you'd be very surprised. So
I tell you what, if it wasn't for Liam, Kendall, or everybody we mentioned, from Hawaii, I wouldn't be here.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Paving the way.
I, well, I had prostate and colon cancer, and I can't have chemo because I don't have an immune system.
Mm,
And but they took care of a brother with some Rick Simpson oil and some Fico,
mm.
and I did that and radiation seeds at Ellis Crystal Cancer Center, and man, it took it away in a third of the time that they thought it would. But I tell you what, look up Fico or Rick Simpson oil and look at the cancer healing properties of it. I was amazed, bro. I was really amazed, but it saved my life, and I'm still here, and I'll probably be here for another 100 years.
Power of Jesus, man. That's what's up. We got a purpose
Hey
here.
man,
Got a plan here. Continue to
bro,
execute that plan, brother.
go out there and show them who the
Yeah.
champion is, bro. Go out there and show them that even though that this is interim belt, what is it? It's
This
so
is
whoever wins the fight gets the right to fight for the title, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
Title of leader. Yes, sir.
yeah. So I mean, that's a great opportunity, man. Just go out there and show the world what you're capable of, and then after that, you come back on my show and we'll talk about some more stuff, bro.
Let's go. Sounds good, brother.
All right. Before I let you go, though, I always do this on my show, even though tonight got kind of crazy. I'm McQueen. I'm standing right in front of you. It's weighing night, and I'm looking at you. What you got to say to me, bro?
Don't blink. You better have. So I don't know who I told it to, but I create track stars, guys. So make sure you got your running shoes. So I'm gonna tell them. I create track stars. Make sure you got your running shoes. Come and make you run, baby.
I love that, bro. Hey, man, you got my number. You call me anytime, man. Anytime. You family, bro. I'm gonna hand the mic to you. Any sponsors, friends, family, or just anything else you'd like to add to the program? The floor is
Sir,
yours,
I
brother.
want to give a shout out to one of my main guys, Andre at Top Tiger Team Boxing. He's taken me in early on when I first moved to North Carolina. He's like my brother. Helped him build his gym from a garage to where it is now, and I take pride in the environment that we created there. So big shout outs to Andre and Top Tiger and what we've been able to produce over the past 2 years. Also want to give a big shout out to BKB Shark, Bet Shark. He has a great track record at bets. So if you need some betting advice, hit him up. He definitely will take care of you for sure. I also want to give a shout out to Misguided Individuals. This is one of my clothing brand brothers who created a clothing brand. I love his gear. I've been rocking it pretty much every fight, as well as New Level Concepts is my brother's clothing company as well. Great gear as well. And then I also want to give a shout out to Top Gun Barber and Hoy, Makua, Lucky Owl, Precision Contract Construction in South Carolina. These are all my minor sponsors. And please, if you guys have some time, come and go to my website at untamable.net and check out my sponsors, man. Give them some love, show them support so that they can continue to support me. This is a full cycle thing. Continue to show up to these podcasts and get in those comments so that these podcasts get out. It's free. You know what I mean? It's free for you guys to show a little love and some support. That's something that I'm really putting my best foot forward in sharing with people, is that, hey, the supporting of people is free nowadays. So get out there, give some love. You know what I mean? It's there. Help his sponsors as well. Whatever sponsor that Don has, hit it. Check them out. There's nothing to lose. So that's about it, man. I appreciate you having me. Definitely enjoy the conversation. Like you said, I was over here trying to prepare, and I was like, I guess that you really made me settle in with the great conversation we had. It was just a talk. I didn't feel the pressure, so I was able to articulate myself a little bit better. So
Yeah, see, man, that's the way life should be. I don't want to keep making things about my Hall of Fame, but it's just because this is the first time you really got to know me. But they said, you don't have a speech.
yeah.
And I said, nah, bro, I don't write nothing down. I said, because if it's written down, it's scripted. I said, the only way to share real is from straight off the lip, from the heart. And I did. And they said I gave one of the greatest commencement speeches at my Hall of Fame. I don't know if I did or not, but all I know is I spoke with the truth, purity, and how I felt about my wife and my son. And either you love me or you don't, but this sport has been very gracious to me, 40 years. And then I get to interview and articulate a young man like you. And I tell you what, I couldn't be happier, man. I'm so blessed you came on my show, brother. Like I said, go out there and show them who the true champ is, bro. And then we ain't got to say nothing else.
Nope. Well, let the fist do the talking, maybe. That's what I've been trying to do. I do it every time, but I guess this is the time in which I have to, stand on business. It's all good.
Most definitely. BYB 27, Jacksonville, Florida, June 10th. You can catch the untamable Jon Barnard. Brother, it was a true honor.
That's likewise, brother. Likewise.
I want one of those hats. I'll pay for it. I want one of those hats, so those hats are sick.
Sure.
Much love, brother. You have a good night. God bless.
God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for tonight. Shit happens, but I'm not going to let nobody disrespect anybody on my show. I can tell you that right now. A little surprised, to be quite honest with you, but you know what? It's all good because things are meant to be the way they're meant to be. Like I said about my surgery tomorrow, maybe it got canceled for the right reasons. Maybe if I would have went into surgery, I may not be here the day after. You never know. I mean, I was upset about it, but the more we figure out, tomorrow I go and take a test and see if we can go ahead and get it, turned around, and they're going to do it. But, maybe it was for a better reason. But if I don't take any money for the show, if you like it, tonight's show wasn't a great example, but if you liked it, give it a share, or at least give it a watch. I don't want no money from nobody. But maybe tomorrow wasn't meant to happen, like my brother Paul Driscoll said. Good point. And and like Jonathan says, yeah, it's my show. I'm an angry 61-year-old. No, I just don't. I'm not going to let anybody come on my show and disrespect a fighter, a friend, or even an enemy. This isn't the place. With that being said, have a good night. God bless.